actions that align with that feeling. Okay. So like I said, we're picking a word for 2018, what kind of thoughts align with that feeling and what kind of actions align with that feeling. Whatever you want for 2018. So it's so funny because this, like I said, this activity has been all over social media. You know, it's on Instagram, Facebook. My yoga teachers do it all the time. And I had my yoga teacher was doing it this week, and she was listing off words like joy, peace, you know, unity, all these nice words, and my word was badass. So like I said, that is the word that chose me for this year. And the reason why, I'm going to talk a little bit about what that means, what it means to be a badass, and why I chose that word, or why that word chose me. And I think a lot of women can relate, and men can relate as well. I'm a big fan of the Jen Sincero books, you know, You're a Badass, or You're a Badass at Making Money. And it really it's kind of like the word, it reminds me of the word bitch, you know, that's kind of now has been made to be an okay word to use to call each other or to call somebody else. And I don't judge that, because I think there's a lot of reasons behind these words, why women are like are taking these words and becoming empowered by them. And they're not really the meaning that you might think. They don't really have the meaning that you might think. So I feel like I've spent most of my life being very afraid, which has kept me very small. And so I really need to channel my inner badass in order to expand and to blossom into the person that the world needs me to be. So that's why I chose the word badass. And it's so funny, because before I did this video, it's so funny how your mind and your ego plays on you. Because before I started this video, my ego, the part of my mind that I just got out, tried to tell me all the reasons why I am so not a badass. It was like, seriously, Elizabeth, you are not a badass. Look at your dog. You know, look at this dog. You know, it was trying to tell me all the reasons why I'm not a badass. And so, but then what happened was, I remembered all the times in my life when I really was a badass. And so those are the things that, when you pick your word for the year, try to think and channel those times when you really did embody that word. And when you feel like you can't do it anymore, that's when you want to remember those times when you feel like you were a badass. So, like I said, I spent most of my life feeling very afraid. It's kept me very small, and I feel that it is time that I could channel my inner badass. I feel like my word joy for last year was a perfect word. I feel like I still have that with me. I'm still going to carry that word, but it's now changed. And your word can change throughout the year. So if you have the word joy now, or peace, or whatever it is, if you have a word, go ahead and list it below. Whatever your word is, go ahead and list it. And so it can change throughout the year. So you can change from one word to the other. So I'm going to read you a quote from Jennifer Sincero, who wrote, this is from You're a Badass at Making Money. And it says, taking a leap of faith is a win-win, and treading water in your comfort zone for the rest of your life is a snore yawn. So I love that. So I believe that being a badass means that you have faith. That above all, you have faith that the world will support you. And so here's my one badass story, and this might sound completely ridiculous, but if you are a girl born around the time that I was, and was in 6th grade in 1989, you will understand why this was one time that I, for some reason, remember being a badass. During this time, so, of course, it has to do with fashion. It has to do with clothes. So, during this time, everybody had their jeans tight rolled. Does everybody remember the tight rolled jeans, girls? So, and if you're younger or older, you probably were, like, not into the tight rolled jeans. But I was right there. That was me. Tight rolled jeans were all the rage. And we couldn't walk down the hall of school unless our jeans were tight rolled. We thought it looked ridiculous to have your jeans out without being rolled. And I don't know, when I was in 6th grade, I decided it was 1989 and I had a pair of jeans, and I was like, I'm not going to tight roll my jeans anymore. I don't want to do this. And I was probably like the only one in school who wasn't tight rolling my jeans, I feel like. And so I remember my friend, I had made a new friend. I had gone to a new school and made a new friend, and she was like, I don't know how you do it. How do you walk down the hallway without your jeans tight rolled? And, you know, that was my inner badass shining out, the saying that I'm not going to go with whatever everybody's doing right now. So that's my example of when I could channel it, my inner badass, or go back to a time when I felt like I was a badass. I had another example I was thinking before this video. Now I can't remember. But anyway, so think about a time when you did embody your word. And that can help you when you feel like you're losing it, when you feel like when you're not able to live up to the word that you want. So like I said, I feel like above all, badass is my word. If you're returning again, I believe that above all, a badass has faith. And faith means that you have faith in something bigger than you. You know, I told somebody about my faith was important to me the other day, and they took that to mean religion. And that's not what I mean. I mean faith. Faith that the universe, faith, I mean it more in a spiritual sense. Faith that the universe has your back, that things are going to work out for you, that love will prevail, and that you can take a leap of faith without knowing for certain what it is that is going to happen, knowing that you will put your best out there and that the universe will give you its best back. Okay? So faith is believing in something that you can't always see, and being okay with being disappointed, and being okay with whatever happens, knowing that it's for the best. So I believe that above all, a badass has faith. A badass can take those leaps of faith. Another quote from Jennifer Sincero that I wanted to share is, it says, faith is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. So believing in what you cannot always see is faith. And that's spirituality too. Okay, I mean, I think the definition of spirituality is identifying with, enlightenment is not identifying with your body. It's identifying with something else, something bigger than yourself. So think about it right now. What is one part of your life that you feel like could use more faith? What is one part where you could use more faith? What part of your life are you worried about? Are you trying to hold on to? Are you trying to control? Control is a huge thing that I talk about all the time. What part can you use more faith? I had a client this week who she was talking about how she has troubles with affirmations. And I can totally understand why, because I've had troubles with affirmations. You know, we're big on life coaching, on affirmations and saying things, and sometimes we don't always believe those affirmations. We don't always know exactly what's going to happen, and that's okay. So faith is being okay with the unknown, being okay with not knowing what is going to happen, and being open to whatever beautiful things the universe is going to give to you. That's what's so great about it. So let's think about what a badass is. A badass does not worry about what she did or what she said. A badass is not going to worry that the Facebook was messed up at the beginning of this video and I had to do 2 videos. A badass knows that it's fine, that it'll all work out. A badass takes responsibility but does not overthink. And, really a badass does not care about what other people think. A badass does care about people, animals, the environment. And actually a badass can stand up for these things in more ways than if she wasn't. So a badass knows that she rocks. This is something I wrote down. A badass knows she rocks and does not get freaked out by the idea that she is kind of a big deal. It's okay. She knows that other people are also kind of a big deal. And if they think they are, or whether they think they are or not, that's not her problem. Okay, so a badass thinks big and does not let the little things hold her back. A badass gets out of her own way. A badass has patience and faith that love conquers all. And she knows deep down that even if she cannot see it, that the universe is supporting her every move and her every thought. So I hope that this is helping you guys also get in touch with your inner badass. Some other things I wrote about a badass. A badass cares intensely and loves deeply. She has self-respect. She knows when to turn off her phone. She loves the world and is able to take pleasure in it. And she puts herself out there and waits patiently for the return. So, a badass, I'm thinking of the feminine energy of waiting, of attracting things. And that's okay to be that way, to be a badass. You don't always have to constantly be working and striving. You can take that time to yourself and knowing that you're attracting the right things into your life. So badass knows she's powerful beyond measure. She's not afraid to take up space, be loud, and make mistakes. But she's also not afraid to be quiet and to be shy, because that's okay too. My nieces are quiet, and I think are my sisters on here. I think she would agree that they are badasses. They stand their ground. They will not let people deter them. And so it's okay to be quiet. You can be quiet and be a badass. And a badass is not afraid to apologize for her mistakes either. So that's an okay thing to do. So I hope you guys understand a little bit more about what I feel a badass is, and I just felt like sharing that today. And I hope that everybody is able to was able to think about what they want for 2018, what they want to feel, because what you're going to feel is what you're going to attract. So try to get to the feeling of what it is that you want, whatever it is the word that you want feel what it feels in your body. Spend time every day meditating on that feeling and really feel it. If it's joy, if it's being a badass, whatever it is, you know, how does a person who is a badass stand? I talk to my clients all the time about posture, you know. How does somebody who's joyful, how do they relate to others, or how do they stand, or what do they think about? You know, I had to learn how to have more joy in my life because this was my word for last year, because I felt like life was hard and I felt like work had to be hard. And so I had to learn how to look at things from a more playful perspective. Okay, so I hope everybody has learned how to unleash their inner badass today. The word congruent. So like Moon Shadows, I'm responding to your comments. So I love the word congruent. So like, what are the actions that are congruent with your word? I remember somebody posted something like that. This is probably years ago on Facebook. Like, for the year, is what you're thinking congruent with how you want to feel? You know, do we really think about this stuff? Are your actions congruent with how you want to feel? If not, then what are you complaining about? Right? And it's so easy to complain. That's another one of my things for this year. I wanted to talk more about what's going right in my life instead of what's going wrong. Because I think that's a good or that's a bad habit that a lot of us get into, is just talking to each other about what our problems are. So I'm going to do a reading for the weekend. And this is going to be from the Universe Has Your Back deck by Gabby Bernstein. I usually use the original Angel Tarot deck, but I don't know. I felt the need to use this deck today. So this is not a tarot deck. It's more of an oracle deck. But we're going to use it for the weekend and to give any messages that we need for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And if anybody wants me to pull a card for them, let me know, because I will. You can put it in the comments if you want a card pulled for you and it'll be from the Universe Has Your Back. So it'll be something from the deck of the Universe Has Your Back, a message that you need to hear. And so put that in the comments. Oh, Anna, your word is alive. I love it. So her word is alive. I love the word alive for this year. So she wants to feel alive, which, you know, what that means to her, it can mean different things to different people. But I think to her it means present and aware. And we talk about how we love things that are alive. We love plants and we like growing things and taking care of them and watching them grow. So that, you know, you're alive in the moment. So it kind of goes with that. So I love that word. Anybody else have a word that they want to choose, they want to list? Go ahead and list it if you want to. And if you want a card pull for you, go ahead and pull. Or go ahead and write it in the comments. I am shuffling my deck. Oh my gosh, my deck matches my nails. So I have the moon on the deck of cards and the moon on my nails. How cool is that? I got mood nail polish on. Okay, so the first card is going to be for today, for Friday. Any message that we need for today. Wasn't that awesome last week when we pulled the card? I hope everybody had a great New Year's. That was so awesome when that card came up for no need to worry for the new year. When I was talking about that the whole time, that was crazy. Okay. So first card will be for today. Second card is going to be, this one's coming right up, for tomorrow, for Saturday. And then the last card is going to be for Sunday. So we'll see what they have to say. And I'll post it below. I'll post the picture when I'm done. Okay, so for today, we have this beautiful card. And it says, I let go of the shadow of the past by seeing someone for the first time with the eyes of love. So how beautiful is that? So this is saying that for today, it's time to forgive, basically. It's saying that, you know, you're going to let go of the past, of whatever is going on. If you're in a relationship with somebody or whatever, well, it is about a relationship with somebody. It doesn't matter what kind of relationship, though. It could be any kind of relationship. That you're willing to see that person with the eyes of love for the first time. There's a reason why it's so easy to see strangers with love sometimes, because we don't have a background with them. So this card is about kind of treating that person who is in your life, who maybe you're not always treating so nicely, with the eyes of love, releasing them from all their past. And then what's so awesome is once you release that person from their past, you're released from your past. So let's release that person from their past. I mean, and then in turn you'll be released from your past, and you can see for the first time with the eyes of love. Okay, this one's cool for tomorrow. Hi, Cynthia. This one's cool for tomorrow. this kind of goes along with the badass word. My fearless freedom lights up the world. I get this card all the time, so it's definitely trying to tell me something. I don't know about you guys. So this is for Saturday. My fearless freedom. Feel fearless on Saturday. Feel fearless, because there's freedom behind that. So if you I cannot talk. If you feel fearless, what would you do? What do you do with that feeling? You might just do a video like this, because this is one of the things that has been hard for me to do. And I guess that was my other example of being a badass, that I started doing these videos because I never thought I would ever be able to do that. Okay, so this is for Sunday. When I lean toward love, I am led. So Sunday is, and we always get messages like this for Sunday. It's more passive. It's more about, I would say Sunday is more of the feminine energy of receiving and going inward. So just leaning towards love on Sunday, you'll be led. I mean, all of these cards today and Sunday are about love. You know, seeing somebody with the eyes of love for the first time, leaning toward love on Sunday. And then, wow, and right in the middle on Saturday, we have freedom. Fearless freedom lights up the world. So your fearless freedom lights up the world. So cool. Okay, so it's good to see everybody. Does anybody want a card? Okay, Andrew said he wants a card pulled for him. Okay, so I will do that. Hi, everybody. Hi, Ward and Beltran. So nice to see all of you guys. Okay. I was getting a rough start to these videos, I tell you. Someday I'll get it down. Okay, Landry, let's see what they want to tell you. When I focus on my inner light, I see the world through the lens of love. So this is about love, too, and it's about focusing on your inner light, which is a George Harrison song, so it's a little bit appropriate there. So your inner lights, and focusing, when you focus on your inner light, you see the world through the eyes of love. So Andrew, that card's really about going inward and focusing on that light that you have within. Okay? Cynthia, it's okay to wave. Hi. We have a funny story about my husband about waving, but I'm not going to tell him right now. He'll kill me. Okay, great, Andrew. I'm glad that was helpful. Anybody else wanted a card? I just want to make sure I didn't meet anybody. I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. So happy to see people joining. Okay, so I guess I'm going to sign off. Let's pull one more card. I just feel like pulling one more card. I don't want to let you guys go. Okay, happiness is my birthright. Oh my gosh, I need this card right now. So it is your birthright to be happy. I think I have, always thought that, I don't know that I've ever really realized this. Life doesn't have to be so hard. Life is supposed to be happy. You're not supposed to, life of course has its troubles, but it is okay to be happy. It is okay to have a great job that you love. It's okay to be happy with the people that you're with, not trying to fix everybody. Okay, so today remember to see that person, let that person go, whoever that person is that maybe is on your nerves or is not doing what you want today. Make sure that you see them with the eyes of love for the first time and that you're able to let their past go, because it's so freeing to be able to do that, because you're able to let your past go as well and know that happiness is your birthright. So cool. So thanks to Gabby Bernstein for these cards. I love this deck. I hope everybody has a great week, and I will see you guys next Friday at 11, and I will get it down someday for Facebook where I won't have problems, I promise. Instagram's always perfect. Love you guys. But I love you guys on Facebook too. Okay, so I love you guys. Peace and love. I don't know if you got to see Prudence. Really? She's got a new sweater on today. She's trying to stay warm. So this is my badass dog, and we're going to sign off, okay? You're welcome, Andrew. It's so good to see you. Love all of you guys. Peace and love. See you next week. Bye.